everybody, you're watching The Christiana321. I am The Christiana, and don't pay any attention to what's going on behind me. You're at a slightly different angle, but you're still on my desk. Different than what I normally use for video calls, which, like, crops that out. Anyway, you're a good height, though. I like this. Welcome to day one of turning my smartphone into a dumb phone. I'm gonna try and do this for a month. We'll see how it goes. So let's go through and figure out what apps we can delete. On my home page, I'm just hiding a couple of apps that I don't want you to see. Okay, so this is generally my main screen of apps that I go to a lot. I just hid my two bank apps. So from here, we've got a couple of social media ones that were gone. Facebook and Instagram. Do I want to uninstall them or just not have them on my front page? I think I'm going to uninstall them because I think that'll help me commit to actually doing this for a full month. Okay, Instagram, uninstall. Okay, Facebook, uninstall. I am keeping Facebook Messenger because that is one of the communication apps that I use with my boyfriend. The things that are staying on here are things that I need in my day-to-day life, actually need. So that would be my banking apps are going to stay on here because I don't know all of my login information online. Spotify and Audible and YouTube are staying on here, but I really want to reduce how much I use YouTube watching it, because it's kind of becoming a problem. YouTube Music also going to stay. These are things that I use instead of a radio in the car, or that I will download things to listen to while on an airplane, because I can't. I'll try to read on airplanes, although I don't have any plane trips coming up. But I can't read while I'm driving, and I can't read really on the train that I take to Chicago. It's just too much motion. It doesn't work. Okay, so I'm leaving my email on here. I have a useful apps folder on my homepage, and so that has all of my two-factor identification things that I need for work. My work email, that's also saying work teams. I kind of wish that I could get rid of those, but I don't think that it would be feasible with my job. I've got my Fitbit app on here, which, hey, I'm not wearing my Fitbit, which means I'm probably not getting my 10,000 steps in. My internet company app, John's location, some other work related things. So those are all going to stay on here as useful needed apps. They are one removed from my homepage, so I have to get into the folder, but I do want them nearby so I don't have to constantly be scrolling to find them. Starbucks. That's a tough one because if I'm going to go to Starbucks, I want to get the points and I need the app for the points. But I shouldn't be using Starbucks for the next month. I can delete that for a month. We're going to delete Starbucks for a month and also commit not going to Starbucks during that month. That was big for me. You guys don't know it, but I've got my Toyota car app, which lets me know stuff about my car, which is important. Also lets me unlock and lock it from a distance, and so that is staying. Alright, and then I have a folder with our different video apps. So YouTube is on there, but then also some of the different subscriptions, which I never really watch those on my phone. I only watch YouTube on my phone. Netflix, maybe if I've downloaded something for a flight, but very rarely. The other ones are more there just so that I can see, oh, okay, which streaming service has this, and then we watch it on the TV. So Those are gonna stay. I couldn't tell you the last time I opened really any of them, other than maybe Netflix. Kind of want to. I'm gonna wait. I'll rearrange my home screen once I'm done. So then, in the like pages of apps, I've got Amazon. That one is a difficult one because it has some stuff that I need on it, but also has some stuff that I definitely don't need. And like I need it for the cats. The stuff that I buy for them comes through Amazon. Though probably shouldn't. We should probably start getting that locally. But I'm not ready to delete Amazon yet. I need to stop just mindlessly scrolling on Amazon. So what I should do is I'm going to put a timer on it, actually. Oh, there is a timer on here, but it is for 20 minutes, which is plenty. I think normally scrolling back, I rarely am on it for more than 3 minutes in a day. Oh, here's a 6-minute one. Anyway. Alright. Some travel ones. Amex, credit card, Audible, BeReal. I'm going to keep BeReal because I'm only ever on it for 2 seconds a day. Unless John remembers to post his BeReal, which he rarely does anymore. Calculator, calendar. Those are good. Those are dumb phone things. Camera. I'm going to try and film this almost exclusively on this camera, which is not my phone one, because then I can't show you like phone things. I can't be doing things on my phone while I'm talking to you. Also on my camera, or on my phone camera, I can be filming a different video besides this one. It's very difficult for me to be filming multiple vlogs at the same time. Anyway, Chrome, that can stay. Company portal, need that. Everyday puzzles. So which games am I going to allow myself to keep? Everyday puzzles is kind of like the New York Times game app, except it's not New York Times. It's just another one. But it has the same kind of games on there. Like it's got a version of Wordle. It's got a version of the category game now. It's got a couple of crosswords. I don't know. Different ones. The one where you like connect the letters around the circle. It's got that one. So I really like that. But I can play the New York Times version just in Chrome. So I'm going to get rid of it. It had some that were different though. And those were really fun. And then there's this one that I started playing recently that I've been buying gems. Essentially gems for. Called Good Sort. It's a lot of fun. I very much enjoy it. But this is me trying to be on my phone less, so I'm gonna uninstall it. If in a month I still really want it, I'll reinstall it. Oof, I probably should have made sure that it saved my progress. Some more travel ones. IMDb. I do like the app. It's a really good app. But again, I can just look that up if I really need to through Google Chrome. Oh, there's eBay, which I use when I'm thrifting, so that one's gonna stay. The McDonald's app saves me money when I remember to use it. Most of the time when I want to go to McDonald's, it is a spur of the moment decision though, and so I don't have time to order it ahead in the app. Let's delete it. Let's delete all of these fast food delivery type things. So that also means Pizza Hut. That means, do I have a Papa John's? I guess the only other one that I still had was Pizza Hut. We're gonna get rid of some of these parking apps. If I need them, I'll just re-download them. It's pretty rare that I need them. Oh, LinkedIn. Do I count that as a work app? In my head, it is kind of a work app. These are in alphabetical order, despite the way that I'm saying them to you. I am going to keep 2 games on here. One is Number Match and one is Sudoku, both of which I only really play on planes, and that's because they don't need data to happen. And they're both number math kind of games. So that is my justification there. Pinterest. I just downloaded Pinterest. I'm already going to delete it. I used to use Pinterest a lot, and I'm glad that my account was saved because I was going through memory lane with it. And there's some cute stuff. There's also some weird stuff in there. I was a weird kid. I mostly used it in college. I can re-download it in a month if I really miss it, but I barely use it now, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a lot of apps in here that I just don't use. Poshmark, I just downloaded so that I could try selling on it. I have barely created an account. I have not posted anything there yet. When I do, maybe by the time this video comes out, check the description below for my Poshmark store. Is that a thing? Reddit, yeah, you're going away. Not good for me. I've deleted Reddit before. That's one that is difficult for me to keep deleted. Sudoku, Let's Sting, Ventra, that is the like Chicago subway app. So I'm gonna keep that one. YouTube Music, and YouTube Studio are all staying. Alright, so there you have it. Hopefully I cut out some of the boring parts of this because we're at 15 minutes already and it's just the introduction. So then you can see my like bottom row of apps are just phone, Messenger, Chrome, Play Store, and then camera. And that is the way the cookie crumbles. Alright. It is Saturday, May 11th. So let's check back in next Saturday and see if I've caved. No, I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna do this. Definitely make it at least a week. A month for sure. Totally gonna do that. So the last clip happened maybe an hour ago. I don't know, I just finished editing a video, and since then, like since filming, I've already tried to open some of the apps that I've deleted several times, mostly like muscle memory. Since I changed the order of the apps on my home screen, I just keep trying to open up my car app, which not very useful to me. Anyway, it's going great. Hi everybody, you're watching the... Wait, no, I've already introduced. This is the end of week 1 of turning my smartphone into a dumb phone. Kind of. So, what I've noticed is this week I don't feel like I've spent less time on my phone. Maybe a little bit. I've just used LinkedIn and YouTube way more than before. However, that kind of works for me. Sorry about Fortran. Because it was those other social medias, Facebook and Instagram and Reddit, that were hurting my brain. YouTube does it a little bit as well, so, but just making me feel bad about myself and what I was accomplishing in life. And I don't think that I said too much before about why I'm doing this, and that's a big part of it is I didn't like how I felt when I was using social media on my phone so much. I'll say I did kind of cheat twice. I didn't re-download any apps, which is great. I did, I was looking for an event that I had gone to in the past, and so I googled the name of it, and the only site that had any information on it was the Facebook events page, so I opened that up in the web browser on my phone, and then I cleared out the notifications that I had on there. But I did not scroll beyond looking at John's pictures and giving him some likes. So it was a very short amount of time, it was still cheating. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to try not to do that again in the coming weeks. But I think one slip up in the first week, I'm going to be okay with that. But I thought we could look at my screen time and see if that changed at all. I don't think that it will have, because you're very cute. I don't think that it will have changed very much this week because, like I said, I was still using YouTube a whole lot, and that is a huge portion of my screen time every week. Because while I'm working, if I'm doing kind of mind-numbing tasks, or if I'm trying to take a nap, I just have a video playing for background noise, and so that takes up a lot of time. But let's look. Today has been just under 5 hours, which is about what it was on average before. I had some very high days, some very low days, but it was usually somewhere between 4 and 6. But it looks like this week I have a couple of very high days, and I think it's because I just didn't really put my phone down, so I'm expecting YouTube to be very high today. Some of the screen time today was my camera, because I was vlogging today, so we can take 40 minutes off for that. And then it says Google Chrome for 30 minutes. I don't think that I was, unless I just had it open while I was eating, because I looked up some information about an event downtown today. If you saw my video, like vlogging around Neenah. Let's see if it'll tell me. No, okay. Then played a game for about 15 minutes. Messenger for 3 minutes. Sudoku. Spotify and Audible both have, I guess, screen time. So it was only really up for 2 minutes and 1 minute, even though I was listening to it for a long time. So that's good to know that that doesn't count against me. And then there's a bunch that are less than 1 minute. So really the big one there is YouTube for today. And I had it playing while I was taking a shower and while I was getting ready this morning. Again, just as background noise. Then yesterday, while I was working, I apparently had YouTube going for 11 hours. Just YouTube. So if we're doing averages, this week, terrible. I played games for, this is probably mostly after work, but I played games for 2.5 hours. I was on LinkedIn for 20 minutes. I was in my email for 14 minutes. That doesn't make any sense to me, unless if I open Gmail and I click on a link, it will open that link in the Gmail app instead of taking me to Chrome. And so there must have been something that I was doing that came off of a link in an email. Then we've got some Google Chrome time, some Messenger time, Amazon shopping. Yesterday was the only day that I came close to my 5-minute limit in Amazon, and that was good. It stopped me. I was going to buy a lot of stuff for a new hobby that I want to try out. I still might do it, but now it's like giving me time to think about it and realize that I should probably try the hobby first using other people's equipment before buying too much of my own equipment. And then YouTube, on Thursday was 7 hours 43 minutes, Wednesday 8 hours 35 minutes, Tuesday 8 hours 20 minutes, Monday 7.5 hours. So this has got to just be me having it open most of the work day, and then in the afternoons during my lunch break, all of that. And then Sunday, it was almost 10 hours. So my screen time has not improved, just looking at the numbers, but if you take YouTube out of the equation, all of the rest of my screen time has gone down. I do want to decrease how much I have YouTube going in the background, because this also just kind of replaced my social media time. So I'm sitting there scrolling in YouTube Shorts when I would have been scrolling on Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and everything. But like I said, some YouTube Shorts do make me sad. The algorithm sometimes just sends me weird stuff. YouTube, you're drunk, go home. Especially lately, it's been a bunch of like preteens doing lip sync challenges, and I don't want to see that. And so I try and scroll away as soon as I get the feeling that it is just going to be a YouTube or a lip sync challenge with no added value in general, but B, if a child is heavily featured, I don't want to see other people's children. The only children that I want to see are my nieces and nephew. The rest of them I don't really care about. It used to be that I'd watch every video in my subscriptions. I don't do that anymore, but I do still watch every short in my subscriptions, because they're like 30 seconds usually, and I like all of them because I like the creators and I want to support them. But now there's just so many where the kid is in the thumbnail and it's like, it's a cute kid, but also I don't want to watch those. But so I'm trying to decide if I want to unfollow them or not. This whole rant should probably get deleted from the video. But basically, I need to spend less time scrolling on shorts. For the first week, it was like a detox of the Facebook and Instagram, and you had to replace the Facebook and Instagram with something. But so now that I've done that, I need to cut out the YouTube bit and replace it with something in real life. Now that might be a I don't know, craft thing. That's what I was trying to find a long time ago. But when I was out today, I got a book called Unplug and Unwind: Mindful Ways to Reset, Relax, and Feel Renewed. Books to inspire and delight. And so I might try and read some of this. So look, it's got sprayed edges. I love sprayed edges. And see if there's some tips in here that I can follow to put the phone down more. It is challenging because John is not doing this challenge with me. It would be nice if he would, but I didn't ask him to because that feels like a lot. We'll see if I don't think that he would ever fully want to, but maybe a challenge where he puts his phone down while we're hanging out or something. I don't know. Like no phones for a couple of hours in the evenings or something. Because even when we're watching TV together, it doesn't feel like we're hanging out like it used to. This part's really getting cut. Alright, so that is the update for week 1. During week 2, like I said, I'm going to try reading this, and oh my gosh, Fortune just pooped in the litter box in my office. It smells so bad. I gotta get out of here. Java, don't shove. They gotta pay extra for shots of your butthole. Alright. I'll see you at the end of week 2. Okay, so I'm in the middle of my workday. It's a Thursday. I feel so dumb. Wait. I didn't... Okay. My phone has a bedtime mode where it turns everything to black and white. Great, I love that. I use that. I've used that for a long time. And it is more of a way of, like, reminding me, hey, you should probably go to bed soon, so I don't stay up till 2 in the morning, accidentally. Anyway, so I've known about that, but it doesn't, like, block any apps or anything, so I still will end up scrolling for a long time. What I found out today, which I think I knew iPhones had, but I don't have an iPhone, and like I said, I've just never gone looking for this feature. There's a focus time thing, which I thought was basically just do not disturb, and so I, like, yeah, I know that I've got do not disturb, but like, I still need to get texts and phone calls. I need to be able to use my phone for dual factor authentication for a few different things on my computer for work. But focus mode, you can just select certain apps to be unavailable for a period of time in the middle of the day, because that was the other thing that was messing me up. I put a timer on my YouTube app so I couldn't use it more than a certain amount per day. It was a lot, but I was still going over. But the problem was, I would go over early in the day and it's like, okay, I need to turn off YouTube for the rest of my work day. But then after work, I can go back on YouTube. That's fine. No. In focus mode, you can say just like, have it paused until 5 o'clock. And you can go in there and you can pause the focus time for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Like if you're taking a break or something, a lunch break. It's such a good feature. I've got no excuse for why I haven't been using it so far. But so I paused YouTube and I paused Google. Nope. Paused YouTube and I paused LinkedIn. Because everything else, as of now, I don't just like sit there and scroll or whatever during the day. One of the number games, I do kind of do that, but I want to change. So during the day, whenever it's time for me to take a break, I've got 3 options. Option number 1 is go take a walk around the block. I need to get my steps in. I've not been doing very good. I've been doing better. You'll see that in the wrap up. Hopefully this continues. You'll see that in the second quarter wrap up. Anyway, so I can go for a walk around the block. Or I can read for like 5-10 minutes in my book. I'm so close to finishing this, you guys. I want to finish this today, which really means I need to not be scrolling. I need to be working, but after work, no scrolling. And then the third option, because I do like my games, I have this word search calendar that from the beginning of the year, I didn't want to do one a day, just because sometimes I don't feel like it. And so it was always supposed to be, you can do as many as you want in a day, or, that could be 0, that could be 5, as long as you never go past whatever today's date is, so that calendar will last me. Today is May 23rd. My calendar, I've done 2 today. It's on January 16th. So I have not used this hardly at all, which means for the rest of this month, I got some stuff I can be doing during my breaks. And then I'll pause it during lunch, because while I'm eating, I can't really be reading. So I'm okay with watching a YouTube video while I'm eating lunch. That's my compromise. Alright, I needed to tell you my good news that I figured this out. I'm so old. I'm a millennial. I'm not supposed to have these kind of like problems with technology. Alright, so we are end of week 2. My phone usage has not gone down very much because I didn't find out about that focus time thing until Thursday. And it was kind of late in the day Thursday, so it was already really bad. Friday, it did go down. It was about what it was before I started this experiment. And then today, Saturday, it was, let's see, it was lower. I spent a lot of time out of the house, and reading my book. I finally finished, I already put it back, The Dance Tree. So good. Highly recommend. Did a very good job of finishing things up, but didn't, like, not everything ended perfectly the way that it does in a lot of YA books. And this was more grown up. There wasn't a lot of spicy scenes, but there were a couple, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I said I was going to read this Unplug and Unwind thing to help me, and I read a little bit of it, but I did not get to very much of it, so that'll be a goal for this next week. I was waiting till I finished The Dance Tree. I was looking up how much. So today was just under 5 hours, which is about what the average was before I started this experiment, with almost 4 hours on YouTube, which is a lot. But an hour of that was on maps, which I don't know why, unless it counts my, when I had Android Auto up unless it counts when I had Android Auto up in the car, and I wasn't mapping to a specific place, but I really had the map showing on my dashboard. So that might be. So if you take that 51 minutes away, it was under 4 hours, which is good. And then a lot of time on a game and some time on LinkedIn. Okay, I was wrong. Yesterday, I spent a little over 6 hours on YouTube, which is too much. I did find, I think it was Thursday evening, in my Fitbit app, it has a nighttime meditation. So if I'm going to sleep by myself, a lot of times I will have a talking head YouTube video playing, and I'll go to sleep sometime in the middle of it. But I can have a Fitbit meditation playing, and that one actually worked really well. It was only 10 minutes and I fell asleep before it ended, which is pretty quick for me. So if I'm falling asleep by myself, I might try that again sometime. Anyway, end of week 2. Not a lot of progress on limiting phone time, but I did finish a book, which is really good because I haven't done that in a while. First one in May, and we are on May 25th today. So hopefully next week I'll have even less screen time, and I'll have finished a couple more books. Hey everybody, you're watching wait, no. We're in the middle of a video. End of week 3. We are almost at the end of this challenge, and have not been doing great. So I still haven't read that book that is all about Unplug and Unwind, but I did finish. I had a couple of books that I was in the middle of that I was, okay, I need to finish these first and then I'll start Unplug and Unwind. And I did finally finish the last one that I had in my queue before reading that. I'll be starting on that tomorrow. I did better with my YouTube. So Monday, Tuesday, not great. Wednesday, I think, was about, like, it was on the come down. And then Thursday was basically my pre this challenge numbers, which is good. Like, I don't know how I did this challenge and ended up with more screen time. This is completely insane. But the biggest thing about it has really been, I've just been watching so much more YouTube. And when I scroll on Instagram, there's a definite endpoint for me. Like, I stop when I've seen everything that has been posted by the people that I follow. I'll still scroll on Reels, but I'll stop. It's easier for me to stop and switch to other apps. But because there's no other app for me to switch to, I just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I do think that there is a good bit of time where I just have the app open and sound is off. I'm not actually looking at it or anything. I'm watching TV with John. But it is open, and so it counts as screen time. I don't think that I can say that that counts for everything. The biggest thing is definitely during the day. I just have my phone like nearby while I'm working, and it'll be open and playing background noise, and that's not good. Thursday and Friday during work, I think one of the big things that helped really is I was doing training that was like, it was something that I needed to listen to, and so I couldn't be doing the training and on my phone, which is good. Like, that was a big factor in why my screen time was lower, because there was no YouTube going on while I was doing my training. Anyway, guys, so with YouTube being the biggest problem, and it really being YouTube Shorts that's the problem, I don't mind the long form content playing in the background, especially like, I guess it's going up afterwards. Today and tomorrow, I'm sleeping alone in this house, and so having background noise will be helpful to me, that I'm not like focusing in on every little sound, because I can hear a lot of sounds outside just with where we live. But sometimes those sounds sound like they're coming from inside the house, and they're not. It's just that I'm near the window, but I do freak out about it. Or it is coming from inside the house, and it's one of the kitty cats. So I'm definitely gonna have YouTube videos playing while I'm trying to go to sleep tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to try to do no, like, I can't even say this because it is so much of a challenge. I want to have no scrolling on Shorts this week. So what I really want to do is make it more difficult for me to log into YouTube and to just like scroll mindlessly on there. Like, it needs to be more steps to get to the app, or I need to just delete the app. I don't want to do that. The other thing that I do sometimes that I think counts against my screen time is I have just like the lo-fi music to study to going on in the background while I'm reading or while I'm working, and that is very helpful to keep me focused, and so I don't want to eliminate that screen time. That's good screen time. So I do have YouTube Music, which I don't think counts against my screen time, so I can play, I've got a couple of lo-fi playlists on YouTube Music that I can listen to. And I don't want, so the like other thing that I could do that is similar to listening to YouTube to fall asleep to is listen to a podcast on, I thought I saw a person. I didn't. Listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook. I don't want to listen to an audiobook because then I'm going to fall asleep and it's going to keep playing. Kind of the same thing with a podcast, which I wouldn't mind missing the end of a particular podcast. Most of them are, I would be fine if I accidentally missed out on some of the words that they say. But I would need it to stop playing after a single podcast, whereas I think all of the ways that I normally listen to podcasts, it will just keep going. And so I need to see if there's a setting where I can say, like, stop after, like, don't autoplay, I guess. Alright. So next week when we talk about all of this, next week when we talk about all of this, we'll go over some of the actual numbers. I say
hesitantly because I'm like, maybe I'll do really great this week and there'll be a difference. I don't know, but it has proved to me that I could pretty well go without Instagram and Facebook. I do miss it sometimes, and I have logged on a couple of times. I didn't re-download the apps or anything, but I've logged on a couple of times. And, oh my gosh, this cat is so freaking needy. I have logged on a couple of times just to see some notifications, and I watched some people's stories, but I tried really hard not to scroll. I think that that's fine. Same with Reddit. I just went on there to check one or two things. One thing that I know that I'm missing from Reddit is Taylor Swift theories, because she's on tour right now and doing performances, and I would, on Reddit, I'd follow the Taylor Swift subreddit, and so they would post the secret songs from the different nights, and I loved watching those, or if there were any like funny moments or interesting moments. I see some of those on YouTube, but not as much, and I know that there's a bunch of fan theories going out about the next album, whether it is going to be re-records of Rep and Taylor Swift, the debut album, whether it's going to be the Lost album Karma. Maybe the songs that were going to be on the Lost album Karma are going to be vault tracks on Reputation, like all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel like most of the songs that were going to be on Karma, because I 100% buy into that was going to be the 6th album before everything with Kim and Kanye happened. This is not a Taylor Swift video, so I'm not going to go into the whole theories there. All I'm going to say is I feel like we've gotten a lot of songs on different albums since then that probably were going to be on Karma. Like, the biggest thing I think that fits that is the fact that we got a song called Karma on Midnights. I feel like that was probably originally on the Lost album. I don't know. I have a lot of theories about Taylor Swift, and we're not going to go into them because I know most of the people who watch this don't like Taylor Swift for some reason. You guys are crazy. No, it's fine. We can still be friends. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm filming this on Sunday because I just completely forgot yesterday until it was too late, and now it's even too late, but it's Monday. I'm doing good. It's like almost 3 p.m. And my screen time's very low. I've hardly been on my phone during work today, which is awesome. I had a little bit of screen time this morning whenever I was waking up, which is not good. I should not be on my phone too much that early in the day. And then just now while I was making lunch, which I know it's like, why are you eating lunch at 2 o'clock? Anyway, it wasn't lunch, it was a snack, but I didn't really have lunch. Anyway, I also had coffee this morning, which I just don't drink coffee very much anymore. I know I said earlier I re-downloaded the Starbucks app, but that's because I had points that were going to expire at the end of this month, and so I wanted to make sure that I used them, even though I definitely could have waited till the end. And I was weak twice already this month. I went to during the course of this challenge, I went to Starbucks without the app on my phone, and so then I bought the same thing that I would ordinarily buy, but I didn't get points for it, which is annoying. I did go to Starbucks way less because I didn't have the app. The first time I went to Starbucks, I forgot I didn't have the app. So, I don't know. But I don't go to Starbucks a whole lot these days anyway, mostly just on the weekends. Today, I was meeting a contractor first thing in the morning, and he was going to be late, so I was able to go snag a Starbucks before meeting him, since I was up and out of the house already. Not a great excuse, but whatever. But, so, I had been getting lattes recently, because since I'm not going there as much, I get the more expensive, more decadent kind of thing instead of cold brews, which are a little bit cheaper. Not much, honestly. So I got the cold brew, and this morning I was like buzzing. So obviously my system has gone through caffeine detox, and so now I'm reacting a lot more to like, cold brews are not a small amount of caffeine, but when I used to have them every day, it was a small amount, you know what I mean? It's not why I picked up this camera. It's not even a phone. Why am I, whatever. Picked it up to say during my actual lunch break, I finally got around to reading some of this, Unplug and Unwind, Mindful Ways to Rest, Relax, and Feel Renewed. The first chapter was all about resting, which was a lot about meditation, a lot about good sleep habits, how to strengthen your circadian rhythm, and listen to your circadian rhythm and get your circadian rhythm to work for you instead of against you. It was a lot of things you would already know if you're on the internet very much. Things like reduce screen time before bed and right when you wake up. Try and not have screens in your bedroom. When you wake up, go for a walk so that it really wakes your brain up. Meditate, practice being like more mindful in your body, so that, especially right before bed, so that your mind isn't racing when you get into bed, that you can be like present, and it will help calm your mind quicker. But there were a few different techniques for meditation and for getting better night's sleep. The one that I have struggled with my whole life is going to bed at the same time every night, which is my own fault, usually. Sometimes though it's because John and I go to bed at the same time, but he can sleep in, so because of the nature of his job versus my job, he can wake up, much later on some days without it affecting his work. But then he doesn't get tired until much later, and so then we end up going to bed a lot later in the evening. So we either need to go to bed at separate times, or I need to get him on board with we have to go to bed at the same time every night. So we'll see how that works. Like I said, he's on a trip right now, so that's probably why I'm talking to you. No offense. But when he's gone, I do a lot. I get a lot more chatty in my videos. Not that the rest of this video hasn't been chatty, because it has been. Yeah, we'll see if he can be on board with it. Because the other thing is, I have to wake up earlier than he has to wake up most of the time, other than during warehouse sales. And supposedly, I don't know if this is true, and it's definitely a generalization if it is true, but supposedly women need more sleep than men. Biological women, cis women need more sleep than cis men because of like the hormone stuff and some of the different things that your body does. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not. I need to wake up. Let's say I need to wake up at 6 o'clock every day. He doesn't need to wake up till 8 o'clock every day. Well, we'll just say. So in order for me to get 8 hours of sleep, I would need to go to bed at 10. In order for him to get 8 hours of sleep, he would need to go to bed at midnight. But since I need more sleep than he does, I actually should be trying to go to bed at 9. And I need longer to fall asleep because I'm really bad at sleeping. But I'm going to try some of the techniques in chapter 1 of this book, and maybe I'll be better at sleeping. We'll see. The next chapter is about relaxing, which I kind of thought chapter 1 was about. Like, it covered a lot of relaxing options as well, so I'm not sure it's going to be different. Oh, the other thing that chapter 1 had a lot of examples of was different lotions and potions to help you rest better, from like essential oils to something called golden milk, different kinds of like teas. The essential oils were to rub on your feet and or put into a bath. If you take a warm bath about an hour before bed, then that's supposed to help. But if you've been on this channel for a long time, you know I don't find baths relaxing. They're very stressful to me. I'm gonna learn how to relax during my next break, because now I've talked long enough that this break is over. I was gonna read some Tuesday. Yes. How long is this video? Jeez. I did want to give you an update. Last night before bed, I read chapter 2 of Unplug and Unwind, which is all about relaxing. A lot of different ways to focus on your breath and meditate and be in the moment. A lot about being present. And I've noticed today I tried incorporating some of these techniques. This chapter did talk some about the phone, but it was less about the bits about the phone were making note of when do you pick up your phone? How are you feeling before, or like how are you feeling when that urge to pick up your phone happened? And then after you're done on your phone and you put it down, how do you feel then? Do you feel better? Do you feel less stressed? Do you feel more stressed? Do you feel the same? What kind of things do you use your phone for? And it does recommend limiting phone time in the morning and in the evening, just like everybody knows is probably a good thing to do, but I'm not good at that. But there's a lot of noticing how you are right now and how you're feeling and letting go of things you can't change. Different techniques around that kind of stuff. So again, not really anything brand new, but a lot of really good reminders, some different breathing techniques, some different ways to ground yourself. As the kids like to say, go touch grass. But it's true. Getting outside, putting your toes on the ground every now and then is really good for you. I feel better. There's a technique that people say to use for babies when they're crying or they're having trouble regulating their emotions, and there's no obvious answer, like they're hungry or they need to be changed or something. Water, air, and darkness. I don't remember what the third one is. If you're not hungry, you're not tired, there's no like cause for it, do something that has to do with the water. So taking a shower, a bath, go swimming will help regulate your emotions, your body temperature. Like it will be a change, so your brain will be like shocked out of whatever patterns it was stuck in. Or going outside and breathing fresh air. Either of those two works on sometimes works on babies and sometimes works on Christianas. So I am all for it if you are having trouble emotionally regulating. Take a shower, go outside, one, the other, both, and then also take a nap. That's usually what it is for me. If I can't identify what the issue is, I'm probably just tired or hungry or haven't drank water all day. Anyway, and then I also read some more of my audiobook. If I'm lucky, if I time it right and am diligent in my my way of being, I will be able to finish both my audiobook and this book today, which would be crazy. My audiobook is Sense and Sensibility, if I haven't mentioned. It's very good. This isn't a book review channel, so I'm not going to say any more than that. Or video. I'll say it in another video. Good morning, everyone. It is now Wednesday, and so this is going to be my last update for the week before I do my recap at the end. I just wanted to let you know that yesterday my screen time was under 5 hours, which was very exciting. YouTube was under, or it was like 2.5-ish, which was really good for me, even pre this challenge. So something I'm doing is working. One of the things is reading a lot. So I did finish the Unplug and Unwind book. The last chapter was on renewing. So there was more about meditation, but it was also about ways to just like refresh your life. And one of the things is to do things in an unordinary way. So taking a different route on the way to work, trying something different for breakfast, reading in a new location, that sort of thing. And so I want to try doing that. I don't know what I'll be doing that's different. The idea is sometimes you get on autopilot, like if you take the same route home from work every day, and then some days you get home and you don't remember making the last few turns. It just shows that like you weren't like present, or you weren't as present in the moment as you could have been. And so I want to try and find ways of doing that for me, but I also really love structure and doing the same thing every day. I did eat something different for breakfast today, so that's one thing. And then I want to try and find a new place to walk after work. Normally I kind of just walk around the neighborhood around here if I go for walks, but if it's not raining, maybe we try and find some place around here that I can walk around, do stuff. I have a few different things I need to do. But anyway, so I finished that book, and then I also finished my audiobook. So for June, I've already finished 3 books, which is the most of any month, and it's only June 5th. Which, to be fair, the audiobook and the first book that I finished, I had started before June, so it's not like I read them all. Anyway, this is not a reading recap video still. This morning I've not done good on screen time already, because I was watching a long video and I wanted to hear the end of it. The rest of the day should be good. Maybe.
Hey everybody, it is the end of week 4 of trying to turn my smartphone into a dumb phone in order to spend less time scrolling and feel better about myself and my life. And I don't know if it worked. Oh, I did get my nails done. See, so pretty. I did already mess this one up. Over the course of the month, these cats, I did keep almost all of the apps deleted, except for Starbucks. That one I did re-download at the beginning of the calendar month because I had some stars that were going to expire and I wanted to like use it again. Anyway, my overall time on my phone didn't decrease because I didn't actually stop myself from scrolling. I just changed to be scrolling on YouTube instead of the other apps, which, as I've talked about throughout the month, I think I do feel better scrolling on YouTube than I do on other apps. What I think I need to do is on the other apps, because I am going to re-download Facebook and Instagram, probably not Reddit. I need to limit myself on those apps to using them for what I really think they're for, which is keeping up with people that I care about, IRL, people who I know personally and not just random celebrities. There will probably still be a couple of people I don't know that I follow, but I'm going to be very selective about who those other people would be. And then what really hurts
me mentally and emotionally when I'm scrolling is the short form content. And what I've boiled it down to, what I think is really the difficult thing for me, is small businesses, because I am constantly thinking, oh, I could do that. I could learn that skill, whatever it is that they are marketing. I could then like turn that into a small business, and I could do this whole thing. And then I just get really, I don't know, because I'm not going to do that. I don't have ideas for stickers, or I don't already have the skill set for graphic design, or pottery, or any of the more creative kind of things, even the non-creative things, the like technical kind of elements. Some of those are skills that I'd like to learn. I'd love to learn to throw pottery, and they do have classes around me, so I might end up taking some of those. I'm not at a point where I could sell it. I need at least a little bit of, like, I've never actually used a pottery wheel, so I at least need to do that once, probably a lot of times. But so whenever I see those, when I see the other people doing them and succeeding and having, you know, all this great success with it, and then I think I could do that, and then I realize, no, I could not do that, that thought process happening over and over again as I see these different reels, and then I feel like a failure because I haven't done anything like that. I work for the man. I work for a company in a office 9-to-5 kind of role, which I love. I don't actually want to take on the risk of being a business owner, especially not somebody who employs other people. In YouTube Shorts, I don't see that as much as I used to see it on Facebook and Instagram Reels, but it still would come up every now and then, and I just don't think that scrolling on Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever, it's a very healthy way for me to spend time. So I need to find a way to stop myself from just doing that. I did promise that we would look at some numbers at the end of all of this, but I don't have the mental capacity. I'll pull up some of them so that we can look at it. I will say, for I think 3 days this last week, I did pretty well. Let's see. Okay, so Tuesday I was right about 4 hours. Wednesday it was 5.5 hours. Thursday I was really good until the evening, and so that one bumped up to 7 hours. And then yesterday I just had my phone on for way too long, and I took a few naps where I had YouTube open, playing a video so that I could sleep to the video. So this number is probably inflated a little bit, but it was at 8 hours. So today, so far, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm at 3 hours and 36 minutes. And part of that is because while I was getting my my toes done, I got a pedicure as well, I was scrolling, and I find it so awkward to just be sitting there while somebody is touching my feet. I don't, and also, it's easier for me to not be ticklish if my mind is distracted. But I do have some ideas, because I still firmly believe that I need to have less time on here. And so once I have Facebook and Instagram back, I think that it's going to negate some of my YouTube scrolling time, because the pattern that I had before is I would just scroll for a little bit on one, a little bit on one, a little bit on one, and then I would be done. Whereas when there was no other thing to turn to, I just kept scrolling on YouTube, and for much longer than I was when I had all 3 of them. So I'm going to re-download Instagram and Facebook, and hopefully that'll bring my numbers back to around 5 hours. But I have an idea for how I'm going to replace my scrolling time with something else. But that'll be another video, maybe in a month from now. In the second half of this year, I have a lot of plans that are going to require me to be able to focus. And so I need to really hone in on that during the next couple of months before those things really get started. Jeez. I'll take you along with me for some of it. But basically, I've got 2 big goals that I need to do by the end of the year, and another goal that is starting that will finish next year, but I'll make some progress on it this fall. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Thank you so much for watching this horribly long video. I'm assuming maybe I'll cut out a lot of the chatty bits, but it's got to be close to an hour, I'm sure. If you like listening to me ramble about things, here's a video of me doing that. But also, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to get monetized by the end of the year, which means that I need at least 1,000 subscribers. So if you think that you like my content and that you might be interested in watching more of it, please subscribe. That's all I've got to say about that. Good night, sweet dreams. I'll see you soon.